Hello, everyone. Welcome to 45 TV. I have a guest here today. His name is Benjamin. As you guys know it, we're giving sports analysis, bet structure, and tips for the upcoming week. But Benjamin is here today to talk about, the main stage of, mainframe soccer, right? That's EPL, Bundesliga, Italian Serie A. He's well adverse with the sport, and he can explain to us the blemishes we've seen in some of these sports. Why the big teams are losing, and why the EPL is very competitive, and it's not just about the players. It's more to it with the EPL, especially. It's about the coaching staff, the money, the trade, everything goes into it. The wear and tear on players, and different sort of tournaments. So, as we know it, Benjamin will be discussing with us today.
Thanks for
About
having me.
on
Thanks
all
for having
these
me.
aspects.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. Shout out to all your audience. So as you said, you're gonna talk about sports in general, but I wanna zoom into soccer. I wanna touch on basically the fixtures that we saw this weekend.
Yeah.
I wanna run through them, and then we
Like
see.
for instance, Bayern Munich
Yeah.
and Leverkusen. I knew I said Leverkusen was either going to win that game,
Yeah.
or the best that could happen was draw.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So why do you think Bayern Munich? What's happening with Bayern Munich for the past 5-6 games, they've been struggling. Ever since the defeat with Frankfurt 5-2,
Yeah.
they've been just going
Yeah,
downhill.
they-
They've been
they-
struggling to get over two goals. They've just been playing one, and they've been keeping a lot of they've not been keeping a lot of clean sheet.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. So what do you
Yeah.
think?
So basically, if you realize, you will see that the Bayern issue is not just about this season. Their issue really started somewhere last season, and then the board at that time with Oliver Kahn and all those guys there thought that the issue had to be the coach. So they tried to fire the coach. They sacked Nagelsmann and they brought in Thomas Tuchel, who they believe had a philosophy to take the team up notch.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, if you realize, from last season to now, Bayern's whole idea was to win the Champions League because they've been dominating the Bundesliga for some time.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, they want to take up the Champions League, which is their main aim. So Nagelsmann was not really showing that promises. So they thought Thomas Tuchel, who had delivered it with Chelsea, can also help them deliver that trophy. But unfortunately, last season, their issue had to do with their threat at front. So they didn't have a potential striker up front.
Yeah. Is that why they went for Harry Kane?
Yeah, because the thing is, they had not replaced Lewandowski after he left the club. So, and then the whole Bayern setup has been, in ages, they always have a figurehead. They always have a striker, that guy in front, who always have to punch in the goals.
Yeah.
A guy that can give them minimum 25 goals a season.
Exactly.
And then they kind of didn't have that. And Nagelsmann didn't want that because he wanted to play a free-throw football where we can score the goals from every aspect. But then Thomas Tuchel, when he came in, he realized that there is a deeper issue than just what he came to see. The team was letting in goals. The team was not producing. Even though they were scoring more goals, they were not working as a team and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So what they did was to get in a potent striker up front, and they spent a huge amount of money on Harry Kane.
Yeah.
And so be it. Harry Kane has delivered so far, so good. He has been scoring the goals and all that.
Has he though?
Yeah, he has. He has been scoring the goals.
Has he been working for it, or he's just been scoring the goals? Is this two different things? You take, for instance, the Bundesliga is very, very competitive, right? You take Lois Openda, Victor Boniface. These guys, they put in the effort. But Bayern Munich is a team that is already set up.
Yeah.
You install any striker there, they're going to score a goal.
Yeah, that is true. But the thing is, you could see, statistically speaking, you could see that this Bayern team right now is not the best of Bayern teams that has ever lived.
Of course, yeah.
They are really right now declining and that stuff. And then he's currently, I think he's the top scorer in the Bundesliga.
Yes,
like
yes.
25 goals or something.
Behind him is, I think, is Victor Boniface.
Yeah, Boniface and co. He's chipping in the goals. And then one thing I like about Harry Kane is he's that type of modern forwards that they come in to play, they link up plays.
Of course, English football style, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
They link up plays. They when it comes to being in the box, they are there. When it comes to coming into midfield to play the game, they are also there, which is very good. But the only issue right now, I think the Bayern team has is their whole defensive structure. And they have a very bad defensive structure. And their midfield itself is allowing every player to just pass through them.
To go through. Yeah, that's why they're not keeping any clean sheet.
And in football terms, if you have a weak midfield, your defense is going to be exposed. And if your defense is exposed, your goalkeeper is going to be a liability, right? And you could see that Manuel Neuer, when he was not around, they were chipping more goals. So Tuchel thought when he gets Manuel Neuer back from injury, the issue is going to be solved. But it's even much more worse because right now, Manuel Neuer himself is somebody who likes to, he's a ball-playing keeper. He likes to go out and play the game and all that, right? And then he tried to, because the team is also playing a high-line defense and all that, teams like Frankfurt and teams like Stuttgart and all those teams in the Bundesliga, they intend to overuse or try to exploit the defensive lines of this team. Of course. Especially the wings.
Because they're high pressing.
They're high pressing, so they leave space behind, right?
Yeah.
Which is modern day football. Like, that's what it is, modern day. But for you to do that, you need a very good defensive line.
Or even midfield.
Yeah. Now, they have issue in their wings. Their wing forwards are not that much better. Their center forward, with exception with Kim Min-jae, who is very good. The rest are all not good because any player that they pair with him is not working out. They even spend a huge amount of money on Matthias de Ligt, and the guy is not producing. He's not even playing the games, right? They spend, I think, about 75 to 80 million on him, and he's on the bench. He's not playing, and he doesn't feel happy also. Of course. Because
they can't install him. Yeah. They're going to install him for him to be able to make tactical plays and stuff, right?
And this is a player that had, I'm talking about Matthias de Ligt. He's a player that had huge potential from that Ajax team, from the Ajax, I think the 2019-2020 golden era. Now, this guy, everybody thought he was going to be one of the best defenders to ever play the game. He had a big move to Juventus. He couldn't, even though you saw some flashes in his game, but he wasn't the best in the Serie A. He tried to have a new space, a new environment. He thought he can go to Bayern, and then because at that time, Lucas Hernandez was moving from Bayern to PSG. So he thought, I can submit myself in the first 11. He goes in and he's not even getting chance to play the games. And he's always called upon as a backup center-back in the team. And that's not also helping. And then you could see right now, one of the issues with Bayer, even though Bayer is having their own problem, I want to give credit to Bayer Leverkusen.
Oh my God.
Because Alonso is really doing a very great job. You have to appreciate the job he's doing. He kind of, when he was in Real Sociedad, the B team, he had a different philosophy that he used to play. And the one thing I study about Alonso's game is he always want to build up a formation to suit the players he have, right? So you could see in this Bayer Leverkusen setup, he's playing the 3-4-2-1 formation where he has 3 defenders at the back, he has 2 wing backs, he has 2 holding midfielders or central midfielders. There's 2 number 10s and there is 1 number 9, right? Or 1 striker. And then you could see most of the goals and assists that is coming from his team is from his wing backs. His wing backs are really producing huge numbers. Jeremy Frimpong, I think, after yesterday's goal, has, I think, about 10 goals and 11 assists. Wow. Grimaldo, I think that's if I get the name right.
Yeah, Grimaldo.
Yeah, the guy on the left wings. He's also having like 12 goals and 10 assists or something. And throughout the whole season, in all games, these guys have not lost any game.
Yes. And the beautiful thing is even without Victor Boniface, the finishing.
Yeah. without Boniface, we thought they're gonna struggle, but they are still producing the game. And then you see, he knew Boniface was gonna be out for some time, so I think he went into Rebetis or something to grab the striker to come and supplement Patrick Shea. And even though Patrick Shea was also producing the numbers, right now he cannot even get into the starting 11. And anytime he gets into the starting 11, he produces the numbers. So it's like Alonso himself has, in as much as Bayern has their own differences, you could see Alonso has built a very solid team.
Yeah.
And this team is producing good. And it's not like out of nowhere. It's like, it's not like maybe they are doing just magics and they are just winning the games. They are really playing a very beautiful game, scoring more goals, and the goals comes from everywhere of the pitch. Strikers are scoring, wing backs are scoring, defenders are scoring. The keeper is also doing his best in the post. So they are scoring more goals and they are conceding less, right? So they are winning games.
Yeah.
And one character I see in this Bayer Leverkusen team that they didn't have before Alonso took over in the latter part of the season, last season, was they didn't have the character to play the game to the end, right? But you could see that when Alonso came into the latter part of the season, he tried to inculcate into these guys a disciplined character that no matter what, even the race still has not gone, you can still win the game. So you could see sometimes they score goals in a 9 minutes of a game to win matches, 9 minutes of a game to draw a game to get a point out. They are always putting in huge character to win games. And that is something that the Bayern team lacks right now. And they are playing as a team.
That's Munich, right? Yeah. Exactly.
The Bayern Munich teams, thanks for the correction. The Bayern Munich team, right now, they lack the character. They lack the cooperation. They don't play as a team now.
They're not a unit.
Yeah. If you see the goal that Grinaldo scored.
Yeah, this weekend.
You can see, after he gave the ball to Teller, everybody was just watching Teller. Teller just had one touch, and then the second touch was a pass. And out of nowhere, nobody saw where Granada came from. The same with what do you call him? The guy they loaned from Bayer, Stanisic or something like that.
Stanisic.
Yeah. That goal was like, everybody was out of focus. It was just a throwing. They just play a ball across the line. And then out of nowhere, this guy just came in to chip in a goal. Right? And one thing I realized is Thomas Tuchel, he complains a lot. He complains too much that he doesn't have.
Is he still going to have a job after this weekend?
He has, because the director of the board in Bayer has come to issue a release saying that they are still with him. They are standing by him. He's just
because the Champions League is this weekend, right?
Yeah,
this week. Sorry,
yeah.
This week Champions League is this week, so they need to see the performance of Bayern before they'll make a decision if they're going to sack the coach or if they're going to pull through for Champions League. Because I guess, with the Bundesliga, he might be, taking a little break and not, going outside. This is all tactical, right?
Yeah.
Play, right?
Yeah.
Maybe they realize that Bayer Leverkusen is way up ahead on the table. And they don't want to, deliver that much and, rather try to rest their strategy for
the Champions League. Yeah. That's why I said, like, their main aim is to win the Champions League. Because one thing that the Bayer setup is trying to do is to put themselves, even though they are part of the elite teams in Europe, they want to put themselves in shoulders with the Liverpool, the Real Madrid, the AC Milans, because these are the teams that have won the Champions League.
Bayer Leverkusen have been unstoppable this season.
They have.
They've only had, I think, 4 ties, and they've won all their games.
Yeah. Yeah. And right now, it's like,
even with Europa.
Yeah. And then they are good to go. They can win the Europa League, but they have a threat in Liverpool, of course. But
yes,
I think they can win the league.
Oh, I think they're going to beat Liverpool. I think by the time they meet Liverpool, they will have a few players back from injury, and also, I think they'll also win the DFB Pokal.
Yeah. But like about the Bundesliga itself, I don't think it's all over for Bayern Munich. Because
you think so?
I don't think it is.
It's
5 points.
It's 5 points, right? 55-50.
Yeah, it's not that much because you have a very long way to go.
Yeah.
And one thing I've learned in soccer in the season is
you don't count them out.
You can't not just say that. Oh,
yeah, that happened.
I'm leading.
That happened to Arsenal last year,
right? Because sometimes with just 2 or 3 matches to go, your fortunes can just change.
Yeah,
because everybody thought last season Dortmund was gonna win the league.
Yeah,
but it took the last game of the season for Bayern to come and win the league, right?
Yeah.
And they were
Bayer Leverkusen actually beat Dortmund that season. They were the one that
they were the one that really stopped
Dortmund from winning the league. Yeah,
right, which is very funny, right? But yeah, it is what it is. So I feel like the Bayern whole setup, they have a whole planning to do, which they are doing right now. Because I think they just signed one Ghanaian player. Like, he's not basically Ghanaian. Like, his name is Ghanaian, but he's like 16-year-old boy or something. They just signed him to augment the squad because they're trying to buy them young right now.
So they train them, so they build them into the team instead of
like they so that they can inculcate them into the team, and then with that they can take over from the Serge Gnabry and then those guys in the team, so that at least when these guys are not there, they can take over. But it's good. It's good for the league. I really appreciate the job Alonso is doing because the Bundesliga, in as much as it's a very competitive league, was becoming so boring.
Boring because there's only 2 guys that were winning. More than Munich. There's only Munich that was on top.
Yeah, and then even with the 2 people winning, Dortmund was not providing enough competition to Bayern.
I think we'll talk about Dortmund later, but I think the question is, will Bayern Munich win the Bundesliga with 5 points behind Bayern Leverkusen? I don't think that's a question we would have to live to see.
Yeah.
But then, what do you think about the EPL?
Okay,
so we have Liverpool with 57 points.
Yeah.
And City with 55, and Arsenal with 55, I believe.
Yeah.
We'll have to check those.
Yeah.
But yes.
I can check that right now.
It's
so
just,
the funny thing is, for the first time in almost a decade, this is the only season that the league has been very competitive between the first 5 teams on the league.
What if you say first 5 teams? Are you saying Chelsea or?
No. I'm putting Chelsea is somewhere. These guys are just below. They don't even know what to do now.
I think Chelsea is going to be relegated.
I wish, as a United fan, I wish they are out of the league. So basically, like, I'm talking about from Liverpool all down to Aston Villa. Because right now I think Liverpool is.
Man U is top 5 now.
No, we are. Okay,
after they win today, that was beautiful.
No, we are not, because right now it's Liverpool first with 54 points.
Or 54.
Man City with 52 with a game in hand.
Okay.
Which, if they win, they're gonna go 55.
5.
Arsenal with 52. They have the same goals with Man City, but they just have played one more game than Man City. Tottenham with 47 points. Aston Villa with 46 and United with 41. So the difference between Liverpool and United is 13 points, which is very much a big gap. We can't just get close to them anyway.
That'll be a miracle.
That'll be a miracle. And then the difference between the top 5, which is Aston Villa and then Liverpool, is 8 points. Which anything can happen. Liverpool can lose 3 matches and then, but which I don't think is gonna happen.
It's gonna happen, right? Yeah, no, Liverpool is
right.
Even with
Salah out, they are
still winning games.
Yeah. So, and then United, right now, like the United, the aim of the coach is just to get into top 4.
I think so. I think United is just trying to get into the top, at least even 6 of the league. So they're playing really, really hard. And for all the bettors out there, United is not bad for goals. You know, even if you're going to beat them, they're going to score 1 goal. They don't going to keep a clean sheet.
Of course.
They're going to make sure that they score 1 goal. And they're very, very high pressing. I don't think they're so concerned about their defense so much right now. It's just all they're trying to do, which EPL has been like that, score more goals than you can score me.
Yeah. Right? That's how it has to be.
Yeah.
So basically, the United issues beginning of the season, main issue had to do with injuries, right?
Yeah.
The coach had plans for bigger names in the squad, and with injuries and subsequent injuries to various star players It really affected the whole plans of the coach. In as much as there was injuries, there was also a bigger issue with their front line because nobody was scoring the goals and they were chipping in more goals. And then one thing about, as Alex Ferguson said some time ago, he says the strikers will score you goals, but defenders will win you games. So you can score 20 goals. If they score you 20 back, you're not winning, right?
Yeah.
So your strikers can do all that they can, but if your defense are weak, your goalkeeper is not good, you're going to lose games. If you don't lose, you're going to draw. And then if you draw all games, let's assume you draw all your 38 games in the season, that's 38 points. You're not going anywhere, right? You can be maybe in the top 12 or top 14, or maybe if you take care is not taken, you can even be relegated with that point. So you always need to win a game, right? So basically, I heard Ten Hag say something like from his press conference saying he told his players that all the games from now to the end of the season is basically like a final. They have to play the games like they are playing the final, which means he's trying to inculcate in these guys that, hey, you have to give out all your best, play the game like we are winning the trophy, so at least we get some points. Because the thing is, if you qualify for Champions League, you are getting more money, and the more money you have, the better players you can buy, right? So he needs more money from the board, and the only way he can prove that, oh, I delivered more money to you, so give me some more money to buy players, is to qualify for Champions League. So he's trying to push his guy to get in. But with EPL right now, I just like we have in Bundesliga, I really wish Man City doesn't win the league, because EPL, as we know, is a very competitive game.
I don't think Man City is going to win.
I think they will. I still think they will. If only, the only person I still think is a threat to Man City is Liverpool.
Yeah.
I don't really fancy Arsenal that much. Even though I think they can do something, I still think Arteta does not have the character to go all the way against his boss. Because anytime he meets him,
anytime he meets him, it's true. Anytime he meets him, but they won the community cup, no?
Yeah, they did.
Was it community cup or
the community shield? Yeah,
community shield. They beat Man with penalties.
Yeah, they did, but yeah, it was on penalties. It's not like, and then I'm not saying he doesn't score against Man City, but I think he has not been in the game for so long to
be like experienced enough.
Yeah, because sometimes, like right now, for example, like Liverpool right now, they can win the league, and their only source of motivation right now is because they know club is leaving at the end of the season. So they're gonna give all their all to try and win the league to say goodbye to their boss. Yeah, we understand. And Pep knows
is Klopp retiring or he's leaving?
He only says that he's tired. He wanna take some sabbatical leave. Like he has not specifically said I'm taking sabbatical leave, but that's what everybody in the sports industry thinks. But another thing we think, maybe the only thing that can change his mind is maybe the Barcelona job, right? Because Xavi also has said he's going. So maybe, but the issue too with Barca is they have issues with money and other stuff, right? But Klopp too has shown in the past that he doesn't need money to succeed. He just needs the right players. You can nurture them and they become better players, right? Which fits the Barcelona philosophy. But from my my point of view, I still feel like he's gonna take some year or two off, and then I still think he wanna coach the German team. He wanna see, because for every German,
it's good for his resume too.
Yeah, because for every German coach, one of their biggest aspirations is to coach the German national team, because it's a pride, right? Like it's just like every other, let's say Canadian, you wanna coach a Canadian team. So every Ghanaian want to coach a Ghanaian team because it's a pride to serve your country. So he wants to coach that's what I think. But right now, it's like Nagelsmann is still in the system. So until we see what will happen in Euros, if Nagelsmann doesn't deliver, maybe they're going to fire him. And if they do fire him and Klopp is still around, I think Klopp is going to go into the job and take up the job. But he didn't really say that he was going to continue with any other team. He only said he's tired, he want to go a bit off. But for sure, he's not going to coach any team in England again, because the love he has for Liverpool, he doesn't want to tarnish that love, right? Which is very, very good. So yeah, EPL is a very competitive league, and they have been competitive to the point that the Bundesligas, the Liga A's, the Serie A's cannot match with them because these guys have huge financial power backing them. They have good sponsorship deals. The league is so competitive. So that's why I really want anybody else, to win the league but Man City. But I don't want Pep to turn the league into like the League A or the Bundesliga where every time it's just Man City winning.
Yes, true.
And the only fear is they have Erling Haaland and they have De Bruyne, and these guys comes in. Yesterday, this guy just came in from injury and chipping 2 goals. Haaland. The guy is a machine, right? So he's making the league so boring.
Especially with Kevin De Bruyne back, definitely.
He's gonna get services.
Yeah. Yes. Even Kevin De Bruyne on his own is deadly.
As Klopp said, Kevin De Bruyne is just warming up and the whole country is shaking up. So everybody was just afraid the guy is coming. So it's like he's just an entity that you can't just lose focus on him when there's a game. And then one thing about the City team too is everybody can score a goal. If you want to put your eye on De Bruyne, you're gonna have Foden scoring a hat-trick.
Exactly.
Or you're gonna have the guys from the back putting the goals from.
Exactly.
And I sincerely thought they were gonna struggle this season.
But they're not.
Yeah, because
it's just competitive.
Yeah, because all the players they bought, nobody has really delivered. Except maybe, let's say, Jeremy Doku has really lived up to expectation a little bit. But nobody else, from Kovacic to Matteo Nunes, to Josko Gladion and all those guys, they've not delivered. They're not doing that much as we thought they could. But yes, still, these guys are winning the games. And with the game in hand, if they win their game in hand, they're gonna top the league.
I think that's what goes to show about coaching.
Yeah, proper coaching.
If you have a good coach, it doesn't matter the players they put in. The teams are gonna either hold the fort or they're gonna win games.
True.
The best is a draw.
Yeah, true.
But anyway, I think that's it for today.
Yeah.
And we're going to have you back here because we really enjoy talking with you.
Yeah.
And